We're back to Kyoto wins now. New game. Yo, Chizuru. You know what time it is. It's time for us to skip a lot. Cause Souma doesn't join us until we move, so it's pretty much like Iba. Skipping the prologue. I made sure I pressed the right button this time. Alright. Technically, we've already seen the start of Souma's route, but we're gonna do it again. I just have to reach it. So, skippy then. And now there's a meeting to figure out what the fuck the Shinsengumi are gonna do with me, because I saw something I really wasn't supposed to see. But I don't really understand what I saw, and they kind of like, maybe they don't understand what they saw, so maybe we should cut them loose, or do we just straight up kill them? That's the main gist of it. And what do? Attempt to explain my situation. And then, we decided to tell them I wasn't a boy. Yep. I love this reaction.
ま、確かにそんな感じだな。体の線が女性的で柔らかいというか。
How did I do? How did I do?
そんなもんわかるか。普通女は袴なんて履かねえだろうが。
Bitch, I'll wear a hakama because I'm trained in swords. Swords equals yes hamaka.
女子でもなぎなたや馬術の際に袴は用いるぞ。
Anyway, more skippy. Alright. Yes, memory. I can't do anything. I'll be a page, but I'll do nothing. I'll stay away from everybody. I'll keep pretending I'm a boy so that it doesn't rattle up the men. Blah, 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 blah. We stay put, which means we get to sit with Kondo-san again! I think that's been the majority of them. Holy shit. Conpeito. We get Conpeito. I like that. Wow, I had no idea. Oh no, it's Takada. You know, we just saw you die in an alternate timeline. I don't like seeing your face. Hi, Hichikata. Give me my options. Quietly return to my room. What do we do? What did we do? Join them on their rounds. Yep, that's what it says. Well, from now we can keep on reading, actually. Well, I would like to accompany Nagakura, Harada, and Heisuke on their patrol.
なんだ俺たちと一緒に来るつもりか巡察って遊びじゃねえんだぜ
別に脅かす必要はねえだろう。俺たちに表立って喧嘩を売ってくる命知らずがそうそういるはずねえし。
ああ、大船に乗ったつもりで安心してくれていいぜ。
Thank you. My hands trembled from excitement. I was going to be able to join Nagakura and the others. Although I was given approval to pursue the inner yard of the front gate, this was special. It was almost 5 months since I'd been able to step out of the headquarters and explore. It was as if I could take my first breath after being submerged underwater.
俺たちから離れねえようにしろよ。知ってると思うが、今日の治安は良くねえからな。
Got it. While tagging alongside the men on their rounds, I was served a dose of reality I wasn't prepared for. A pervasive sense of revolution came from every pair of eyes laid on the Shinsengumi. Oh, revulsion. Revulsion came from every pair of eyes laid on the Shinsengumi. However, when we met their judgmental gaze, they pretended to go about their business, shuffling themselves away. Their body language denoted a mixture of fear and disgust, as if they were paralyzed by rumors. Amidst the haze, I overheard someone mutter, "The Mibu wolves."
どうした？浮かねえ顔してるが、具合でも悪いのか？
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. I brought my voice to a whisper and quietly asked Harada a question. What are the Mibu rules? I heard it in murmurs from around the townspeople since we started doing our rounds.
俺たちのあだ名だよ。ミブ村の老子と狼をかけてミブロだと。
I'm not sure if being a wolf is something to be proud of. But why? You guys are protecting the safety of Kyo, right?
今日の人間はよそ者が嫌いだからな。俺たちのことを田舎者だのなんだのって散々バカにしてくれやがって。
まあ、江戸みてえにいろんな藩の出の人間が住んでるわけじゃねえからな。どうしてもよそ者への偏見はあるさ。
As it stood, the warriors seemed used to how the townspeople treated them. I kept my hands at my side, keeping a keen eye around the city for any sign of my father. All of a sudden,
貴様、今何と申したのだ。我ら勤王の死に立てつくとは、天使様に弓引くのと同じことぞ。
a group of thugs with greasy, unkempt hair were causing trouble with some of the townsfolk. Heisuke noticed the emerging fray and was quick to aid whomever the thugs were harassing.
おいてめえら、そこで何してやがる。新選組だぞ、神妙にしろ。
ミブロだと。
The Ronin caught sight of the Shinsengumi's light blue jackets and drew his sword in response. It was clear, however, the Ronin were no match.
おとなしくしろ。暴れなきゃ命までは取らねえよ。
おのれ。
One of the Ronin tried to make a run for it by pushing through the surrounding warriors.
待ちやがれ。
Heisuke chased after him, but the Ronin was quick at navigating the crowds, giving him the edge. I didn't think there were any chance of catching him, but then appearing out of nowhere.
どこに行くつもりだ。何もやましいことがないなら逃げることはないはずだろう。
A mysterious samurai appeared, grabbing the Ronin's shoulders and stopping him in his tracks.
邪魔をするな。
The Ronin threw a punch at the samurai, landing in his face.
その程度の腕前でこの俺の足止めをしようとするなど100年早いわ。
The Ronin roared with a smug laughter. Attempting to run, he was stopped by Harada.
おっと、どこに行くつもりだ。まさか仲間を見捨てて逃げるなんて言わねえよな。
豚書までお付き合い願うぜ。いつ解放してやれるかはわからねえがな。
くそ、ふざけるな。
Before the Ronin could swing his sword, Nagakura and Harada tackled and subdued him.
何をする。離さぬか。
Nope, I'm not letting go. Not ever.
うるせえぞ。今からもっと痛い目に遭わせてやるからな。
Heisuke approached a mysterious samurai who attempted to stop the Ronin.
手伝ってくれてありがとうよ。助かったぜ。
The samurai sat on the floor with his head down, hiding his bloody, disgruntled face.
別に礼を言われたくてしたことじゃない。
He wiped his mouth without wincing, adjusting his posture sheepishly. It sounded as if he was muttering to himself.
新選組が乱暴者の集まりだっていうのは本当らしいな。あいつが言ってた通りだ。
Heisuke was visibly angered by the samurai's words.
俺たちが乱暴者ってどういうことだ。誰が言ってた。
いや、 誰って、江戸じゃ誰もがそう言ってるぞ。
Oh yeah, that is Kajiyuki. That is Kajiyuki. It's Soul Burner!
名を上げることしか頭にない、血に飢えた人斬り集団の新選組ってな。
The samurai's harsh words rung deep within Harada, causing him to grab the samurai's collar and push him against the wall.
てめえ、今なんつった？
何をするんだ！俺は聞かれたから答えただけだぞ。
じっくり聞かせてもらおうじゃねえか。江戸の噂かどうか知らねえが、お前が俺たちをどう思ってるかをよ。
待て！俺の考えじゃないって言っただろうが！そこの人も止めてくれ！
こうなっちまったら諦めろ。佐野にはこの手の冗談は全く通じねえんだから。命が惜しければ早いとこ詫び入れた方がいいぜ。
なあ、俺たちのこと江戸じゃそんなに噂になってるのか？
それは。
He turned away awkwardly and a piece of paper dropped out of his inner pocket.
なんだこれ。
Harada reached down to pick up the piece of paper and the samurai's eyes widened in panic.
待て！それに触りだ！
The samurai raised his hand down to grab the paper, but Nagakura and Heisuke were faster than him.
おっと！
Fool.
離せ！何をする！
With two men holding him down, the samurai's desperate attempts to break free of their grasp were hopeless. They were far too strong.
何をするはこっちのセリフだろ。どうしていちいち突っかかるんだよ。
うるさい！この鳴らす者ども！
Harada grabbed the piece of paper and examined it as Nagakura and Heisuke argued with the samurai. His face wore a deeply concerned expression. I wasn't able to catch a glimpse myself. My heart pounded. Was it a lead from my father? Did it describe a plot against the Shinsengumi? Suddenly, Harada looked up to question him.
お前、この絵をどこで手に入れたんだ？
Harada's tone was Harada's tone of voice shifted, as if the two were locked in a duel to the death.
なんだ？何が書かれてたんだよ。
Nagakura could sense something was off with Harada. Harada handed the piece of paper to Nagakura without speaking a word. Nagakura examined it for a second before passing it to Heisuke, both of whom snapped into alertness.
武士にこんなことをしてただで済むと思っているのか！
そんなこと関係ねえよ。いいから答えろ。
The conversation shifted into an interrogation, one party in full control and demanding answers. The samurai glared intensely at the captains, but his words did not match his intensity.
江戸の知り合いからもらったんだよ。
その知り合いっつうのは誰だ？
どうしてそんなことまで言わなきゃならないんだ。あんたたちには関わりのないことだろうが。
関わりがあるかないかは俺たちが判断することだ。いいから答えろよ。
Harada was clearly growing frustrated with the samurai's lack of cooperation. It was clear the samurai had nowhere to run, so he gave in, hoping to be let go.
知ってる絵描き見習いだ。それ以上は言わない。
この絵はそいつから譲り受けたのか、それとも売られてたものか。
売り物じゃない。俺が無理に譲ってもらったんだ。
絵はこれ一枚きりか？ それとも他に何枚かあるのか？
わからないが、俺が知ってる限りその1枚だけだ。
そうか。
Harada held the piece of paper in his hands, exhaling while staring at it pensively. Nagakura continued.
この絵は俺たちが預かる。つうか、お前も今からトンショに連行だ。
何を言い出すんだ。どうしてあんたたちが俺を。
The desperation in his voice was palpable, but Nagakura and Harada gave him no chance to leave.
つべこべ言うなよ。お前、名前は何て言うんだ？
The samurai fired a glance at Harada so sharp it could have cut, but he finally relented.
相馬和恵。
相馬か。ま、運が悪かったと思って諦めろよ。
Heisuke so chill about this.
豚書で戦技してみて問題がないって分かれば解放してやるからさ。
Despite Heisuke's reassurances, Souma showed no signs of giving up and seethed with anger.
何もしてない俺を連行しようとするあんたたちの言葉なんて信用すると思ってるのか。
俺たちもできれば穏便に済ませてやりてえんだから、それ以上文句言うなって。
Heisuke seemed to be acting genuinely to Souma. I was surprised they didn't do anything worse. So we apprehended Souma along with the Ronin from earlier and returned to headquarters. I was still curious about what the drawing was on the piece of paper. Perhaps it's best that I don't know. The men kept to themselves quietly on our walk. Once we returned to the compound, all of the captains were gathered. They circled around Souma silently, glaring intently at him. The air was suffocatingly still. I hadn't felt this way at the headquarters since my arrival.
で、この絵を描いたのはどんなやつなんだ？
知らない。
おい、さっきは知り合いの絵師だって言ったじゃねえか。
記憶にないな。
おい、てめえ、嘘をつくのもいい加減にしろよ。
ねえ君、何も話すつもりがないなら切っちゃうけど、それでもいい
Soji! Ogata reached for his sword, but Saito moved his arm in front to stop him.
待て掃除。三男さんの話が先だ。
相馬くんと言いましたね。あなたはこの絵を何を描いたものだと思っていますか？
浅黄色の大服を着た新選組大使だろ。
確かに着物はそうですね。ですがこの絵の人物は白髪で目が赤く口が裂けています。あなたはこれを見て何とも思いませんでしたか？
確かに変だとは思ったが、そいつが新選組は鬼のような奴らだって言ってたから、そうなのかなって。
なるほど、鬼ですか。的を射ているかもしれませんね。ところで新選組のことをよく知っていて絵の心得がある人物、私たちにも心当たりがないわけではありません。これを書いたのは伊吹くんですね。
Somo's eyes grew wide, telegraphing that his secret was revealed by Sanan-san. He was defeated, nodding to Sanan-san.
もう一度聞くぞ。この絵はこれ一枚きりなんだな。
ああ、捨てるつもりだって言ってたのを無理やりもらってきたからな。だがなんだってこの絵のことで俺がこんな目に遭わなきゃならないんだ。
こんな鬼みてえな絵が市中に出回ってみろ。俺たちの評判が今まで以上に落ちるに決まってるだろうが。
それは確かに。
というわけでこの絵は没収させていただきます。いいですね。
Senatsu's rhetorical question left Souma no room to negotiate, leaving him to sigh in defeat.
わかった。好きにしてくれ。俺の疑いもこれで晴れたんだろう。
His face looked haggard, exhausted from stress. Kondo-san stepped forward slowly and nodded.
相馬くんだったな。俺は会津藩お預かり新選組局長を務めている近藤勇という。うちの大使が手荒な真似をしてしまってすまなかったな。許してほしい。
Kondo exerted his extreme courteousness by bowing deeply and sincerely. Souma was caught off guard by his act of kindness, his eyes growing wide. Instantly, he became flustered.
顔を上げてくれ。あなたは新選組局長なのでしょう。俺みたいな昇進の者に頭を下げるなんて。
I don't blame Souma for being so surprised. The samurai way of life dictated that honor and hierarchy are far more important than life itself. Supposedly, the punishment for dishonoring yourself can be dishonoring your entire family, even for one poor display of manners.
局長という立場にあるからこそ、己の過ちは素直に認めるべきだと俺は思う。まあ、世に言う武士のあり方とは少し違うかもしれんがな。
本物の侍でありてえと思っちゃいるが、今の武士の腐ったところだけを真似てもしょうがねえからな。
Souma was dumbfounded. He didn't speak or move. It was as if he'd never been shown a similar kindness in his entire life. Kondo-san glanced kindly at Souma, his eyes trying to communicate a sense of safety.
この絵を描いた伊吹君は元気にしているのかな。
はい、とても。
そうか。それはよかった。なあ、トシ。
そんな奴のことは覚えてねえ。
Ha! Hijikata-san didn't care for Kondo-san's olive branch. However, Hijikata-san's body language seemed forced, making me feel as if he was secretly relieved that the Tsubuki person is doing well. The other captains too reflected a collective sense of relief, easing the tensions from earlier. Was this Ibuki a friend of the Shinsengumi? It's strange to think that how large they are and how many friends they've met and lost in time. It was obvious that Kondo-san deserved his place as chief, for his warm demeanor.
では、そろそろ帰ります。本日の期待の大使の方々に対する数々の無礼、お許しください。
Souma seemed like a completely different person to the man we met earlier, and he bowed deeply.
それじゃあ、俺はこれで。
Heisuke Nagakura and Harada escorted him to the gate. I think they wanted to see him off.
いやー、悪かったな。無理やりこんなところまで連れてきちまって。
そもそもあんたたちが俺から絵を奪い取ったりしなきゃこんなことにはならなかったんだ。
そう言うなよ。あんな物騒なもんを他の奴らに見られてたらもっと大事になってたんだぜ。
そりゃそうかもしれないが、
何にせよ龍之介の消息も聞けたんだし、一件落着ってことでよかったんじゃないか。
そうだな。相馬だっけ？せっかく縁ができたんだし、気が向いたら遊びに来いよ。
遊びにって新選組と関わりを持ったりしたらいろいろと差し障りが。
ああ、そういや普通の半勤めだったな。確かに俺たちなんかと関わってるとバレたら面倒か。
いや、我が班は。
さて、そんじゃそろそろ飯の買い出しに行かねえとな。佐野、平介、付き合ってくれよ。
おう、そんじゃな、相馬。また会おうぜ。
はい。
The three of them hurried off to shop for their dinner ingredients, once again leaving me behind. Souma looked at me shyly, and we both smiled faintly before finding the courage to speak.
そういえば聞くのを忘れていたが、君も新選組の大使なのか？
What should I say? Actually, I'm a page! Even though lying is never a good thing, telling the truth about my situation would have more than likely just confused Souma. Hi, I'm a page. Souma hung his head low and muttered to himself, something that was slowly appearing to be a habit.
君のような年派のいかぬ者でも幕府のために働いているというのに、徳川不代の我が藩は。
Souma's voice trailed off as he shook his head.
それじゃあ俺はそろそろ行く。皆にもよろしく言っておいてくれ。
Oh, sure. Goodbye. I bowed politely, and Souma walked towards the gate. Souma was so full of mystery, reminding me just how far I was from home. I turned to head back to the headquarters, alone in the bleak summer night.